And it's Saturday again, House Party 5v5. We are back. Welcome to the show, Thunder Ducks on the blue side, Shadow Walkers on the red side. We are into our semi-final stage at this point. Everything run along quite smoothly. Thunder Ducks, Shadow Walkers should shape up to be quite an interesting match. We've already got the bands come out. Sejuani, LeBlanc, Zed, Rengar, Gragas, and Maokai. Congo has locked in the Nautilus. Hi folks, my name's Anson, and I will be your host this evening. Joining me are my wonderful and talented shoutcasters, Dave and Deck Club Ace, aka we just call him Deck.
Hey guys.
So taking a look at our board here, Sejuani, fairly common ban, the Zed ban, seeing that possibly against SW based off his performance last week. SW really came through for Shadow Walkers and just held that team together quite well and performed, I think, a stellar job. With Jets.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really surprised to see the SW targeted bans because they definitely had a lot of like really good plays overall, but SW like in general was really good.
Jetstone looks like he's going to be continuing with the role swap. At this point, probably just a permanent decision to keep him on that AD carry role.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I've actually been enjoying watching Jet play AD carry. You know, coming from top lane, AD carry is one of the more unusual transitions compared to, say, going from support to AD carry or, say, mid there AD carry, because you go from playing these tanks that, like, sit in the front line to playing someone that needs to stay in the back line. So, but I think Jet's been showing that he's able to really take that transition and actually, handle it really well. So, overall, very, interesting decision from him to step into the ADC role over the top lane.
It is quite a difference, in the world. I mean, two roles are as far away from each other as you can get on the map, but in terms of play style and things like that as well, I think he's done a good job of it. He hasn't really brought that star AD carry firepower quite yet, but I think he's getting there. I think AD carry is something he's been practicing, confident enough to take it into this game and try to get some results out of it.
One thing to note, Rom actually got his Zac jungle.
That's huge.
Yep. Yeah, that's a huge thing. I mean, was it probably like a 90% ban rate in houses, and if it goes through, he pretty much wins. I think he's only lost like maybe one game on Zac in the solo league, at least. So interesting to see that get through and him actually being able to pick it up. You never know. Sometimes when you
to be all over the map, that is the way that Rom plays Zac. It's a gank heavy focus, and he'll rotate mid, go back bottom, and before even clearing the camp, he'll just, you know what, gank mid again. Why not?
It's interesting to watch him play that because, Zac kind of made a name for himself in the jungle when Meteos used to play, but he used to play so farm heavy. So watching, go from someone who's really farm heavy to someone that can play and just endlessly gank is interesting to see. But another champion that got through was Gnar in the top lane as well.
So let's talk about
Nebel.
Oh, whoa, hold on. Nebel got his Gnar. Whoa. Where are Shadow Walkers at on this one? The Rengar, the Gragas, the Maokai. What were those bans targeted at?
Yeah, it's always a good question. I don't think. I mean, Nebel plays Maokai, but his Gnar is a little bit scarier. Definitely is. I mean, he's won almost every game every time he's been able to get Gnar.
I think his Gnar is up there with I'd say top 5 scariest champion player combinations in the league.
Yeah. And Zac is right behind him on Rom, so interesting to see this go through.
We'll have to see. I assume that they know what they're doing, I hope.
Yes.
So maybe they were planning for this.
Yeah, I mean, usually when you let something go through like this, it might seem oh, this is different. Oh, this is unexpected. Why would they let that go through? They have a plan, and I feel like, I mean, I don't want to give Shadow Walkers too much credit, but I feel like they might have that type of plan. One thing to note is that I think I don't know. It might
You're
be a
absolutely
Morgana
right.
top lane. Yeah.
I don't
never
think
know.
this is Shadow Walkers dropping the ball here in Champion Select. If anything, they're definitely doing this intentionally, giving over the Gnar and the Zac to Thunderducks. I think they went into this with a plan as to how to handle those two champions from the get-go. As to whether or not that'll work out and ultimately be a mistake, well, we'll have to see how the match turns out. But yes, definitely, Shadow Walkers, very prepared team, very calculated team. Do not think that they just let these two powerhouse champions slip by onto these players just accidentally.
I have to agree with that. And one thing to note is that this is a Morgana top lane versus the Gnar, and that's kind of what I thought they were going with. And when it comes to Gnar, he does really good against these tanky top laners, and he's able to really able to poke these long range top laners. But at the same time, Morgana has Black Shield to stop a good amount of the damage from say Hyper W, which is a lot of the harass that Gnar is able to put out in the mid or in the early game. So I feel like the Morgana is definitely going to be interesting to watch in the top lane. Plus, you Black Shield yourself, and he does the full stun into the wall combo, and you're basically untouched because that's all physical damage and not magical damage. So I feel like the Morgana top lane counter is trying to force him to pick the Gnar top. So I could see it working.
I mean, the amount of snare time that you get out of your bindings, I would imagine that really hoses a Gnar from being able to get in there. He wants to get up close, especially when he's mega, and when you can just throw your binding at him and walk away while he sits underneath the pool, it could be a little disruptive.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to farm in the tower as Gnar fully. I mean, granted, you could farm in their tower really well, but with Morgana W, you just spam the W on the wave, push into the tower, and hope that they're able to farm underneath the tower. Gnar can farm into the tower, but it's not as easy to save some other top laners. So he's gonna have a little bit of trouble to actually. He's probably gonna be pushed into his tower the entire time. That's what I'm expecting to see from Mega Totodile in the top lane.
Well, another thing to note here, I don't think we've actually seen a Jace in this series yet.
Yeah, not at all.
I'm excited for the Jace mid. I very much enjoy Jace mid.
It's
gonna be interesting to
unconventional,
see.
but at the same time, SW is a new name in the league. A lot of people don't know how he plays, what champions he's good on. They saw his performance last week, hence the Zed ban. But this week, bringing something else out, so we'll see if his Jace is just as good. Well, folks, we are headed into our loading screen here as the delay ticks away. I want to thank you all again for coming out. Caster's going to take a short break, and we will be back with the action once we hit the rift.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, to House Party 5v5. This is our second round of playoffs. Thunder Ducks versus Shadow Walkers. Shadow Walkers coming through with a 2-game victory over Acme Corp. My bad. Just totally went over my head who they beat in the first round. Game 1, of course. So, yeah, pretty exciting game. Not the team I was expecting to come into this round, but definitely shows some promise that might actually be able to surprise Thunder Ducks or Lightning Swans or whatever you want to call them in this round.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of interested to see what they're planning to do with this. They did just let them have a couple of their
level
own
1 coming out. And let's see who comes here. The Braum passes locking up a lot of people here. Rom's almost down, but the passive might drop. Everyone's low. Flashes are burnt. No one is dead just yet. Wilson get binded. Is he gonna die here? He has to pop barrier. Megatoto in the wrong spot, and the bomb coming out just like one auto away. Just a simple auto away. No one died at all. Let's see. Summoners. Let's count summoners real quick. 1, 2. Only 3 summoners coming out from Thunder Ducks. Both of Dev's and Wilson's barrier. And Shadowwalkers burned both summoners on Mycroft. And the flash from Toadal. So really a pretty alright even trade.
They got
SW did
SW's
blow his
Ignite as
well. What was that?
That's an SW's Ignite as well.
Yeah, so
It was an okay trade. They almost got the Zac passive. It was very close.
and that would have been pretty beneficial in the early game because Zac wouldn't have probably be able to gank without having too much aggressive stance, if that makes any sense, you know. if you're ever passive with Zac, you try to gank a lane, you're able to play without too much remorse and just kind of go all in without too much to think about.
I mean, it allows you to tower dive a lot earlier because it's easier to get out safely.
Yeah. But either way, interesting level 1. I was not expecting that. Shadowwalker is just sitting in the bush waiting for Thunder Ducks to walk into that bush was pretty unexpected to see that happen or come through.
Well, it's definitely weird considering like the last couple of games, beginners we've seen where they've they've tried to just go and get some deep warding.
That's about it.
and that didn't happen.
Yeah, they just kind of sat in the bush waiting. I feel like they saw they're like, all right, they have these champions are going to invade, but in all honesty, of a team that I thought was going to invade, it was going to be Shadow Walkers, Morgana, a Braum. I mean, that's just so much lock up there. You're actually going to be able to invade without too much trouble.
I mean, like, the Zac level 1 is not very strong. Gnar level 1 is okay. So you have Ziggs, Lucian, and Nautilus.
Unless you start Hook on Nautilus, you really don't have much more lockup besides his passive, and that's it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the Shadow Walkers, they've got the Vi, they've got Morgana bindings, they've got the Braum shield stun, not the shield. So they have so much lockdown, especially for one person. Like if they had caught one person out with the binding in a position where they could actually kill them, there's no way that they would have been able to get out of it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And Congo and Dev playing a really aggressive stance in this bot lane. If anyone watched Summoning Insight from Inside the League from last night, Prez kind of showed that he was going to be really aggressive against Kuro and Fly if he gets that stage. And I think this is him showing his presence in the bot lane as an aggressive ADC because he's always been one of those ADCs that just sits back and farm. So it's interesting to see different playstyle come out from Congo.
Seems to be working for him though.
Yeah, I mean, he's up 8 CS over Jet and able to deal. I mean, he's doing almost all of the poke for the bot lane. He's hitting his piercing light almost every single time on Jet. Bam, another one goes out. Bam, over and over again. And it's whittling them down as we speak. And a pause.
We have a pause.
Good old pause. House Party 5v5 would not be House Party 5v5 without a pause at least once a game. And I would say at least once a game. Apparently lag coming out for the jungler Shadow Walkers Chibode. And yeah. But one thing I want to take a quick look at, I think they're about to start up, is Wilson Jones got his Ziggs, which he's been kind of, I don't want to say a pocket pick because he picks it here and there. It's one of those picks where people like don't really think about champ select, and then he picks it and they're like, oh crap, we got to deal with this. And it's always nice to see his Ziggs come out. We've seen a lot of good Ziggs lately, within like solo league and just overall. So I'm excited to see Ziggs play.
I'm curious to see how the Ziggs play comes out. I very much enjoy Ziggs as a mage because he has so much presence and also has good wave clear. So he's very good counter to some of the like assassin mid laners that we see very popular. Because, you know, they can roam around all they want. He's going to push into the tower while also contributing with his ult to the gank.
Yeah, which is something to talk about. A little trade coming out from Dev and Kong on the bot lane. Kong getting locked up, but Jet not really able to transfer enough damage over to him to really do much. But overall, decent trading coming out in the bot lane. Mid lane, SW's going a little aggressive here. A lot of damage coming out from Wilson Jones, and he actually might have Ignite is ticking, but not enough. He does still have his barrier
close.
up. Yeah, that was just, you know, usually when someone walks up to me like that, I don't really expect that. Rom, the bomb's coming in. Oh wow, the knockaway coming out from SW to knock Rom. Very interesting trade coming out. Uh-oh. Chipotle coming in as well, and getting a little damage going off on Rom as well. SW's backing off. Wilson Jones just kind of sitting in the back, very little HP, clearing out the wave.
Ah yes, the junglers have hit level 4. It's time to gank mid.
You see, exactly. It's once you get that level 2, Minecraft going a little aggressive here. Dev locking him up with this passive. Dev is getting locked up as well. Jet getting autoed, locked up. The damage from the minions is a lot. Cargo flashing in. The TP coming out from Totodile. And that's ultimate coming out from Totodile, locking up Dev. Jet's in a very risky zone right here, but that's first blood going over to Jet. Meeble TP'd in as well. He actually might get locked up here. Ah, man. Minecraft needs to be very careful. Congo moving forward. That's a double kill going over to Meeble. Almost about to his Meganar as well. Let's see if they're going to try anything else here. And, I don't know, that's it. Decent trade coming out. Or not even a trade, decent trade. Just very good play coming out from Thunderducks with the TP coming over from Wilson, or not Wilson Jones, Meeble.
That was quite an extended fight. It lasted so long that Meeble could actually start teleporting after Totodile got there. And Totodile went in, like, as soon as he was level 6, he started teleporting in. So, yeah. It's kind of interesting to see the TP ganks from Morgana. Terrifying as well.
Yeah, I was not expecting the Morgana coming and just immediately ulting, and yeah, that was a lot. Chipotle doing a little trading with a lot of trade coming on the mid lane as well. SW getting a lot of damage onto him, all coming through as well, and Meeble coming in for the KS kill secured.
He had to kill that cure. Yeah. The kill. Obviously, it was going to kill Wilson.
Yeah, man. But good game coming out from Meeble to stop the all-in from SW.
Jet taking a lot of damage. That's just what happens whenever you get locked down by a Nod.
Yeah.
Gotta spell shield them hankers.
Yeah, I mean, Sivir against Nautilus is a good pick in essence, but at the same time can be very bad because you're gonna spell shield one CC, but you have to make sure you spell shield the correct CC, because if not, he's still gonna lock you down. I mean, it is Nautilus, you know. You have to spell shield either the hook, the auto, or the ultimate, and choose wisely because one of them is gonna lock you up.
Very slow.
Yeah, it's a very slow game after the game coming out from bot side. But overall, farm amongst every role is basically even. Besides bot lane, but even then, there's a pretty big wave in front of Jet, or half of a wave compared to Congo. I mean, he's still down about 10 CS, but that's including the death he has. Meeble already has his Phage, and definitely on that Black Cleaver build.
He's also sitting on a lot of gold though too.
Yeah,
because he's
he's
roaming
sitting
around
on
a little bit
1,000
before he got the buy again. So
Yeah,
we'll
that's
see
a
how
lot.
it goes.
Wow, the trade coming out from Congo. I mean, he's just trading himself. He doesn't even need Dev there, almost. But the all-in coming in from Dev, locking up Mycroft. A lot of damage coming out. But Congo is pretty low as well. The culling is actually doing a lot of damage compared to what you would expect from a culling. Rom the Bomb in the enemy jungle, on top of Toto, but locks him up, walks away. What do you expect from Morgana getting caught in the jungle? You're gonna get binded, and he's just gonna walk away, and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, see, okay, so no, we have a slight lull. You can see Wilson actually bought a tier really, really early.
SW getting uh-oh, the ult missing because Rom knocked it to the side. Let's hope Rom actually picks that up, but he does. Meeble coming down, he's already in Megadar as well. Just gonna look for the scuttle. Rom is trying to invade, locks up Chibode. Chibode doesn't really have any tank stats, so Rom is doing a surprising amount of damage. Meeble coming in as well. Uh-oh, the flash coming out. He's almost dead. Let's see if he can get it. Nope, they go and just get the red buff away from Chibode.
That'll work.
Yeah. Even
Got a lot of stuff from him, made him go away.
Yeah. The red buff going over to Meeble as well. That's going to be pretty beneficial for him in the top lane.
I was talking about before that interesting little extended fight went on. You don't normally see a tier this early on a Ziggs because it's not safe to stack it, but it is safe to stack it whenever your opponent also buys a tier first.
Yeah. That's something definitely to know. I've always seen Orianas do this as well when they go against some champions. They'll buy the tier, but like you said, it is a little risky to start stacking it early because you're expending a lot of your mana to get that quick early tier stacks. But the mana regen, I mean, he bought a tier, and on top of the tier, he bought the Forbidden Idol, which he'll probably be building into Morello. So he has a lot of mana, but not that much damage. So he's really hoping that his base damage does a lot for him.
Well, this Ziggs base damage is pretty good, and we're not really going to see SW build any MR for at least a little while, because he does actually have a lot of like required items that he needs on Jace. Like, he needs his Muramana. He needs some form of armor pen, which he has in his Brutalizer.
And if he really needs the MR too, he can just go ahead and build the Headstringer early. And it's a very, very cheap item. And I mean, it gives him a lot of beneficial stats, especially against his Ziggs. So definitely one item he can pick up early if he needs to. But from the looks of it, I mean, he's been playing really aggressive. He does have 2 deaths, but I mean, both deaths are because of the aggressive stance he has. Totao coming into the mid lane as well. Rom the Bomb it there for the counter gank. You know, it feels like top laners are just ganking mid non-stop lately.
It's the constant roam. They're tired of sitting on their island. They want to come down to mid's party.
Yeah, Chibode getting locked up by Rom. Rom saw him coming in and just got his E ready, and I was like, alright, you're not ganking my mid laner.
Now see, this is exactly why you ban Zac against him.
Yeah.
Like, he has so much presence. He has more farm than you. He has more kills than you. He can repel your ganks. He can do tons of damage.
Yep, Totao going a little aggressive on Meeble in the top lane. He actually hits all of his spells there. You know, guys all go down in. Shotwalker, or not Shotwalkers, Thunderducks getting the first dragon of the game. Dev going in, locking up Mycroft as well as Jet. They're all coming out from Mycroft to stop them from really doing anything. Dev being a little aggressive here. Chibode's here as well, and they're looking to do a little aggressive stance. Wilson coming from the side, and that's that. They got the dragon. They went a little aggressive. Teams are, mid laners are starting to show up, so they're like, all right, we're gonna back out now. But a lot of damage coming out from Congo, just the culling alone.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that that we didn't see a roam at all towards dragon from the other side, because like they just got to do most of the dragon for no good reason.
Yeah.
Also, there seems to have been a little miscommunication with the pinks, as there are 2 pinks in the bush next to dragon.
There's a lot of pinks.
Double vision.
Yeah, they needed it. Rom coming in for the bot lane gank, blocking up Jet. Jet flashing away. Congo flashing as well, get the kill. Minecraft just all by himself. Chipote's there and kills Congo. Rom is on his own. Meeble's coming in. Dev is there as well. That is a dead 5. I've seen one. And Meeble gets the 4th kill. This is a
Ouch.
snowballing Gnar. So it's yeah.
And I mean, like, I'm not even sure what exactly to say, because like Zach's mid game is really strong. Zach's late game is also really strong. Really, the only interim that you have is his really early game. He's kind of the same as Sejuani in that.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And
it's doing
he has a
lot
team
here.
that wants to go in with him.
Which is great. That's
minus
exactly
6.
what we need on Zach. But that's free gold going over the Thunderducks with those 2 pink wards.
Look at all that
Shadowwalker's
delicious gold.
a little forward. Dev coming in for the gank. Maybe he can lock him up. He can. The bomb just missing. The Morello doing a lot of damage. Can the bomb hit? And it does. Wow, whoa. He threw that bomb just a little bit tad to the side. Minecraft being a little bit aggressive. Same with Congo showing up. It might be able to kill him. The bomb coming out. Wilson walked up a little close.
Not quite.
Almost there.
Oh man, Rom is so low.
He needs to be super careful here. Just sitting in enemy jungle backing. Uh-oh, Hook coming out. Misses Jet by just a little centimeter. Heal coming out. Dodged the bomb. Wilson's on point with these bombs. He threw a really... Rom
tried to do the
just got
red.
his passive popped. Is that Broken Shard? I think that's Broken Shard, but I had to say so myself.
Oh no.
Dying to the red buff. I want
He
everyone
tried.
to note.
He even tried to do it again.
Yeah, I want everyone to note real quick that that Rom died to red buff and had Zach passive prop. Just so we can, so we all know it happened. So you can't deny it. You know, I would
See,
deny it.
see, red buff is obviously working for the opposing team.
Yeah, I think we're So that's unfair for Thunderducks. You know. Alright, so Chibote's gaining his own red buff now. Luckily.
Slow and steady.
Yeah. He's been bullied out of his jungle pretty hard lately.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think at some point he's going to need to just like be grouped with his team constantly,
Yeah.
because otherwise he's just not gonna have he's not going to have any effect at all.
Yeah, the Viol's definitely an important part of Shadowwalker's kit too, because you know they have a lot of lockdown. They have Braum, they have Morgana, but they also have the Viol to really like engage the fight. You know, if a Viol comes out, Totodile can hit a binding afterwards, going with his ultimate, and not be really scared to do much more than that. And you know they have Mycroft that can go in as well. I mean, Braum being a super Dev is getting locked up. So is Mycroft. Mycroft's just in a very sketchy part. He's actually able to get away, even with the, oh man, I was going to say even with the Nautilus ult coming out, but the blue buff was against them there. Wilson and Chibote going on Wilson Jones, doing a lot of damage to him, but, you know, when you don't have any tank stats, you're just going to fall over from Dev and Congo. So, yeah.
It's very unfortunate that Not didn't have to use his exhaust there.
Yeah. Congo, oh wow, the damage coming out from SW. He might be able to get out of this. Nope. Ultimate coming out from Wilson as well. People going in, locks up Jet. That is a
Goodbye,
dead
Jet.
Sivir. That is a Mega Gnar. And that is a one-team fight for Thunderducks.
You know, Jet, you shouldn't allow Gnar to boop you on the nose.
Yeah, that's just
It does
wrong.
hurt quite a bit.
And it's just a small little kid. You know, you tell him no, tell him to go to bed. It's past his bedtime. Not allowed to do that to you.
When he gets angry, he just throws houses at people. And as we established last time, the houses are actually underneath Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, you don't want him to throw your house at you. That's just wrong. That's BM. You know.
Ah yes, Nar, the greatest BM.
How do you like it if he just throws your house at you? I mean, like, that's just wrong. If I was just walking around and some random little kid just threw a house at me, I would just be it would just be unenjoyable.
To be fair, he's not very little when he throws it.
True. It is a Mega Gnar. The
He ate his
Hulk.
Wheaties.
I wonder who thought of Mega Gnar. Who just thought of a Hulk champion. They're like, man, we should have a champion that's kind of like the Hulk. They get angry and they just turn it to a big monster. Never thought of it like that. Second Dragon going over to Thunderducks as well. Oh man, the ult coming out as well. Wow, the damage going on to SW's a lot. The knock away from the SW as well is there. Wilson just gets the bomb and the auto, and that's a dead Jace or Sith Lord, whatever you want to call him.
Little column A, little column B.
The Cullen coming out just to force him off the tower, and that is a tier 2 mid tower going over the Thunderducks. Congo getting locked up though. That is a dead Lucian, and that was a really good binding coming from Mega Toadao. It was just like, you just gotta put it through the minions. Toadao is in a weird spot. He gets the ult off and the Hourglass, but only locks up one of them. The ult coming out from Wilson Jones, Jet kind of in a spot he should not be. Denali's ult hits him there, and Mykoff there to protect his AD carry like he should be. Rom going in. Oh man, the damage coming out from Rom is so much. Just murders Totodile. That's a lot. This is an extended fight. They wanted that tower badly. They did not want to back off.
So, unfortunate for Jet, he popped the spell shield while also being ulted. So,
Yeah.
he was being chased by Nautilus ult. But he has his movement speed bonus from his ult. So he outruns the ult and the shield goes down and then he gets hit by it anyway.
Yeah, I didn't actually think about that.
Like, he stopped and realized what he was doing and then ran towards the depth charge.
Yeah, and also with spell sheet, you gotta spell, like, you can't, when Nautilus hits R on you, you can't just spell sheet. You actually have to wait for it to actually about to hit you. It's not really a skill shot, but you kind of have to wait for it to actually hit you before you actually spell shield it. You can't just, oh, I got ulted, let me spell shield type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it only lasts a second and a half.
Yeah.
So you have that nice little window, but you want to wait until it's right about to hit you. And he kind of like misestimated it because he was hearing the sound from the depth charge.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. And plus, running away from your own jets, running away with your ult, it doesn't really help your cause.
Let's get some vision over at Baron. Looks like
Yeah.
that might be the next thing on the list. Makes sense.
As a-
They've taken down quite a few towers. May as well
Wilson
get something
Jones
else.
kind of in a bad spot here. A lot of damage coming out from Chibode, and Flash coming out from Wilson as well. Chibode kind of in a bad spot. Congo coming out from the side, and that is a lot of damage coming out from SW and his poke. They all coming out from Wilson Jones as well, and that is a dead Lucian. Let's see if Beeble can do anything. He is only a mini Nar, so he can't really do anything. Megatog going in with the ultimate and locks up only dead. Rom and Beeble able to get away. A lot of damage coming out from Beeble, or Wilson just sitting in the back line. Beeble as well just continue hitting those boomerang blades. Rom chasing down Totodile. Wilson really low. He needs to be very careful here because that Totodile could just randomly turn around and do a lot of damage, but nope, Rom stops him there. Meeple chasing Jet away from the scene of the crime, and Jet's able to actually get out of there.
Alas, it looked like it was going Shadow's way for a little bit.
Yeah, it looked like it did. But
Quickly, when suddenly the Mega Gnar from your own jungle.
yeah, it was really different. I mean,
It was
but
a
Meeple-
different engage.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is when you see a Gnar in a team fight that's not Mega Gnar from the entire fight, you're not really sure what to get, expect, because
I mean,
people
at that
underestimate
point,
the
you want to
damage.
go in.
yeah,
Like, you want to get him before he goes Mega. Because once he goes Mega, there's a cooldown on it. But he'll be Mega for the rest of the fight, probably.
yeah. Dev kind of a little aggressive stance here, trying to clear out that ward, but SW, Mycroft, and Jet showing him that is our ward. We are protecting it with our lives, and I don't know if that's the best point of action right here. We saw what happened last time when I picked a fight with Thunderducks.
One thing that was kind of weird was, like, I almost think that Kongo was a little bit too aggressive in that fight because he came from mid lane and pushed 3 people, like, backwards because they thought that he wasn't by himself.
Yeah, that was.
They realized that he was by himself, so they dove on him.
Yeah, Kongo came in from a very weird area. He kind of walked in from mid lane. It was by himself on that side of the map. But another fight coming out. People actually, Meganar this time throws away SW, tries to lock up someone, but Mycroft being dead, Chipote just falling to the side as well. The ult coming out from Wilson picks up Jet and the minion wave. So that is a tower going over the Thunder Ducks, most likely. There's only 2 minions left, but they have a lot of damage coming out with the Lucian passive. And that is going to be an inhibitor as well. Yeah, that was very questionable play coming out, getting caught in the jungle. They need to be very careful with the damage that comes out with fighting these corridors with the bombs being thrown out, as well as Rom being able to lock you up between 2 walls.
I mean, it's kind of unfortunate, but at this point, this game is pretty much entirely Thunder Ducks to lose. Like, they are so far ahead. They have
this
all,
really relies
all the tower
on
control, all the objective control, all the kills.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's a big point about this game is that it is Thunder Ducks game to lose. And one thing to note, a lot of it comes down to Rom and Weeble got their champions. They got the Zac, they got the Gnar, and that's that's a big thing for both these players. You know, they really like those champions. You know, Rom. If Gnar's open, he's gonna play it. Or I mean, if Zac's open, he's gonna play it. Weeble, same with Gnar. If Gnar's open, he's gonna play it. I mean, they had no reason not to, and they kind of went in. SW went in with some type of way to counter it, but just did not work as planned.
That's Dragon 3.
Best one of the game.
The
Besides
aforementioned
Fifth
strongest dragon. I mean, at this point, they don't even need the 4th dragon, because who needs pushing control when we have a team that's really good at pushing minions?
Yeah, and they don't even need Baron, because they have a Ziggs and a Lucian that can just clear waves within 2 spells. Rom going in, that's a lot of damage coming out from the Zac jungle, as well as the culling. Weeble going in as well. Meganar form really low. Zac knocked him away, and he wasn't really able to do much to Ziggs ult as well, was able to do a good amount for them. But Shadowwalker is able to walk away there. That was a little unfortunate misplay. Coming out from Rom and Gnar, since they kind of messed up each other's ultimates, or Rom actually messed up the Gnar ultimate. But either way, that's another inhibitor.
It's kind of the same way if you're with a lot of the junglers right now. Like, if you're with a Gragas, if he ults, you're gonna be really sad because they spread everybody out. Probably about the only one who goes perfectly well with Gnar is Sejuani, just because you do AoE stun.
Yeah, you just AoE stun them and then that's it. And then
which
you can easily throw
they
them all on the
banned,
wall.
by the way.
Yeah, they did ban it. So.
I mean, obviously for good reasons, but I'm not really sold on the Vi. I don't necessarily dislike Vi, but I don't think that it's working out for what they want.
And in a meta where it's all about these AoE junglers, or these multiple, like being able to get into a team fight and not actually dying. You have Rek'Sai that can just tunnel in, knock up everyone, Q to continue to sustain, and just overall be super tanky. And you have Gragas with his passive, and Zac with his passive, and Nudu who can just continue making your carry a real hyper carry no matter what kind of who it is. Vi just kind of doesn't fit in there because she's more of this like assassin-y type jungler. Lock down that one person, maybe kill him with how much damage I'm able to put out, but that's it. She really doesn't provide too much more than that.
I mean, at this point, I think it might have even been better if they had, instead of going damage Vi, go tank Vi.
Dead. Going in from the back line, kind of by himself. Rom following him up. Todao kind of getting a lot of damage from him. SW able to pick off Kongo. Chipote dying to the young Gnar. and that is a Mega Gnar, and he throws you to the side. And
Jeez.
throws your house with minions. I mean,
Just the Mega
very
Gnar's
disrespectful.
leap. Just the leap did a lot of damage.
Yeah, that was a lot. But GG coming up from a Shadow Walkers game 1 going over to Thunder Ducks Lightning Swans. And yeah, that was a very impressive game coming up from Thunder Ducks. If anyone has any words to say of how they're, a mediocre team, they kind of show that if they get those champions that they really enjoy playing, the Gnar, the Zac, the Ziggs, they are going to take control of that game, and yeah, they're gonna make it interesting.
Well, whatever mind games are being played against them, they didn't work.
No, I don't know. But I'm gonna throw this over to Anson while we get ready for game 2 of Shadow Walkers versus Thunder Ducks.
Fantastic game for Thunder Ducks. They absolutely dominated there. I think Shadow Walkers definitely have to take a look at the pick ban phase. They're going to have to address at least the Zac, if not possibly the Zac and the Gnar. Look to expect to see those bans coming out. I think Shadow Walkers decided, you know what, our initial strategy didn't quite work out. And that's a strategy you want to try in game 1. I expect a very different game 2. Can't wait to see how it unfolds. Guys, we'll be back after a quick short break to get this match up and going. Stick with us. And welcome back, everybody. House Party 5v5 Saturday League. It is our quarterfinals. Stage 2, Shadow Walkers versus Thunder Ducks. The Thunder Ducks have a game up over the Shadow Walkers, but they are not down and out yet. Hey, everybody. My name's Anson. I am your host. With me, a very talented group of shoutcasters. Introducing Dave.
What's going on?
And, of course, Deck.
Hey guys.
So we've got the Champion Select coming out. The Zach Benart, no surprise there. Wouldn't even be surprised to see the Ziggs. I know it's a pocket pick for Wilson Jones. I know he's got some stronger champions he plays out there, but you couldn't argue the presence. And Ziggs is one of those champions just very comfortable on, very impactful in a game. Even when he loses, Wilson Jones always making an impact with that champion. It is open to him, actually. Now we see the Gragas band come out third. The Zed is still respecting SW. SW showed a pretty great performance in the early stages of the game. I just think team-wise they didn't really gel together to take big advantage of it, but that was nearly a 1 versus 1 kill on Wilson Jones.
Yeah, and I think that it wasn't necessarily the early game that was bad for them. It wasn't necessarily even their individual play. It was just like they gave Thunder Ducks champions that 2 of their players are really comfortable on. Meanwhile, they had targeted bans at their mid laner, so I'm not sure why they wouldn't maybe ban out some other stuff that they should know better than letting through.
You know, I think it was a game 1 strategy. It was like, okay, we can afford to play a risky move. We can afford to throw the Gambit down level 1. Some great scouting really came through with that level 1 fight. I was impressed. Take a look at it, and they knew exactly where their enemy was going to be traveling and just waited for him to walk in.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually a really dangerous invade if you don't get it really quick, because obviously you can have the entire team just sitting there waiting for you. And especially against their team comp, they have the stronger level 1. So I'm kind of sad that we didn't actually see them trying the invade, but I guess they just didn't do it fast enough.
You know, why invade when the enemy's going to come to you? And I'm guessing that's what they figured where they were going to go. If you stack 5 bodies in a bush, especially a bush that's not very well traveled, I think it definitely was for a reason. They planned on that action happening. I did see actually a flash get blown right out of the gate very early. A summoner got blown, it looked like, so that might have hurt them as far as countering that invade. I'm not sure.
I mean, we'd have to see.
We'd have to go to the
very different team coming out from Thunder Ducks this time around.
One thing to note that Rumble did get picked up from Shadow Walkers, and if I know Shadow Walkers as much as I do, that might be a Jetstone Rumble. You never know.
That is an interesting possibility because they haven't left that option on the table in their past few games. So it's just been Jet the AD carry. Nobody's had to worry about Jet the Rumble main in top lane.
Right, because Rumble's actually been banned by Riot for the past couple of weeks, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
That as well.
So
This time around, nobody's expecting it. So it's kind of like a Spanish Inquisition top lane. We'll see if he
but
does
either way,
actually end up transferring that over.
But
Although, go ahead.
I do want to say that Rom getting the Scion jungle, a tribute to Zark, I would believe, but overall, a pretty scary jungler in the hands of some House Party 5v5 members. Rom definitely being one of them, of course Zark being one as well. I've always been interested in why our community specifically likes the Scion jungle, where it's not really played at all on any real... I mean, I don't even see it in solo queue anymore, but it's definitely one of those junglers that's very interesting to see. But I'm definitely excited to see it because Rom has shown that his Scion jungle, his Zac, these big tanks that can just get onto you. I mean, he plays it very well. So It's definitely interesting to see.
We got one more champion pick to go. And it looks like Wilson Jones is going to be picking his mid laner.
Yeah, and it's against a Lissandra mid. Uh-oh.
Whoa, the
Oh,
Karma.
Karma.
That is an
That is
interesting choice.
That's either Karma mid, Morgana mid. I mean,
Nah,
it's Karma
gotta
mid.
be.
It's gotta be Karma mid.
Gotta be.
Are we-
Karma mid.
are we
gonna
He's
see
got
it?
45 seconds left, so
He does have time.
Ode to Karma mid right before her nerfs. I'm excited to see this.
Karma mid
Um,
against a Lissandra mid. We're thinking maybe. Yeah, there's really no other option for Shadow Walkers.
Yeah,
And
it's
Jetstone,
definitely me.
Jetstone has the Rumble. It's in his hands right now.
And they might be trolling us. I
They
mean, that is
could.
some of the Shadowwalkers.
They could still be trolling us.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
mean,
possibility.
Dev is Scion
but-
support right now and Morgana jungle, but
I've never seen Jet play Vayne, so I'm gonna call it Jetstone top lane Rumble.
All right,
I mean, that seems like the safe bet.
and the safe bet is there.
The safe bet was the
Ah.
correct bet.
The last minute trade between Chibode and Mycroft. I was expecting to see the Vi support. I wanted to see that. You know, Nautilus jungle, Vi support, very, very meta. Very.
Chat has corrected us. It is obviously the infamous Karma top.
Yeah. But Karma's on the other team.
Well, if Nautilus can be a support, how come Vi can't be a support? You got 2 forms of crowd control. Nautilus has 3.
I have a friend who has 100% win rate with Vi support in like 10 games.
really 10 games.
Yeah.
I would want to give it a shot. Chibodi, he's comfortable on that champion, and he's not enough of a threat to draw a ban with it, which is, it actually works out for Shadow Walkers for him because he gets a champion that he prefers playing every single time.
Yeah, I agree with that. And Totodile on the Vayne as well is going to be interesting to watch. We always give Jet, we're praising Jet for his ADC from last game. At the start, saying he made really good transitions, but now it's him in the top lane. I wonder how Totodile is going to do this bot side. I mean, he is definitely one of those few players that just really plays anything, but has to play carry. He can carry games, so I'm excited to see if he can actually carry this game and make it a 1-1 series and bring it to Game 3.
I would love to see a 3-game series before we hit our finals, best of 5. Last season we had 2-0s straight across the board, all the way. This season, with the way we structured our bracket a little bit, I'm hoping to see. Of course, we did have a really close game between Shadow Walkers and Acme, but did end up resulting in a 2-0, and I'm really interested to see a possible 3-game series. We'll see if that comes to fruition. Guys, we are heading into our loading screen. Your hosts are going to take a short break, and we'll be back once we hit the rift. Stick around. More action to come.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Game 2 of Game 2, Series 1 of House Party 5v5 playoffs of Thunderducks versus Shadowwalkers. Very interesting game from Game 1. Was not expecting. I'm still a little shocked that both Meeble and Rom are able to get their comfort champions like that.
Yeah, and I like to think, benefit of the doubt to Shadow, they may have thought it would be like a morale hit if they could somehow beat them. Because,
Yeah.
if you lose on your best champions, then your game 2 is going to be a lot weaker. Regardless of what you play.
Yeah, it's definitely something to note there. I feel like that was a good idea, but in a best of 3, you kind of have to be careful of losing game 1, because I could really put you on tilt and just kind of force it into a 2-0. So,
Much safer early game this time around. No risks.
yeah. But same plan again. Sit in the same bush, hoping that the enemy will invade and force them into a losing trade. But I don't think Thunderducks are gonna fall for that one again.
No, it looks like they just want to do the safe start. They just want to get the jungler leashed, get it going, see if they can get the mid game from there.
Yeah. Just simple start coming out for both teams. 1v1 in the top lane, 2v2 the bot side. Karma damage, still a lot, even if it's a powered Q. But Jet on his comfort champion. Very excited to see this happen. Maokai doing the thingies, Raptors, getting his level 2 quickly. Meeble with Jet only able to get the first wave fully, hopefully. And yeah, I don't know if he missed one.
That was close.
Yeah, he almost got it. But either way, Meeble coming in with the lane at level 2, where Jet is still level 1. So let's see if Meeble's able to take advantage of it. Jet just hitting level 2, so a little slow Raptor kill, but either way, getting that slight XP advantage is going to be very beneficial once you hit level 6 as Maokai. Especially against a top laner like Rumble.
We're going to see how this Karma mid goes against Lissandra, because I like to think that the Lissandra is weaker than the Karma, because she's not as mobile between, not having the shield speed boost. She has her claw to get around, but that's got a relatively long cooldown, and when that's not up, she spends a lot of time, standing still casting Q.
Yeah, the only beneficiary of the kit from Lissandra is that you have a lot of CC, so you're able to really just continue slowing them and kite backwards as long as they don't get on top of you. But when the enemy has a jungler like Sion, he's probably going to be able to stay on top of you. The gank coming out from Rom onto Jet. Jet is a very scary spot right here. Needs to be very careful. Flasher coming out and the knockup as well. But Chibodi is actually here. They might be able to turn this if they do enough damage, but Jet shielding up and able to get away alive. Well done from there. Chibode actually going back onto Rom. That is first blood going over Chibode. Well, very good counter gank coming up from him to stop the gank from Rom, and Rom's just going to be like, you know what, alright, I'm going to take the CS and I'll revive in the base and go back to jungling.
I almost think that Rom was being a little bit too aggressive there. He didn't even use his flash.
Yeah, and Meeble going back on Jet. Jet taking a lot of damage with that minion wave as big as it is and being locked up by Meeble. But yeah, go on.
I don't know. I think that Rom could have actually avoided dying there if he had chosen to use his flash, but I think he just didn't realize how much damage Chibode was going to do.
Yeah, the level 3 damage coming out from Vi is a lot if you're able to proc all 3 of your W. The
it's really easy. It's Q in. If you land the Q, auto attack E, auto attack, and you've procced it, and you can do all of that really fast.
Yeah, just gets the auto attack reset coming out from being able to hit your E is just ends up being a lot of damage. But either way, great play coming out from Chibode to respond to the gank fast enough, because he kind of was in the river going down to kill the scuttler, and you know didn't work out well for him in the sense of he wasn't able to, he actually did get it later on, but he was able to come in just a second too late, or not too late, but second after the gank, and do something with it.
And I think him getting in late was actually really advantageous as well, because like by then they had already pushed all the way to the tower, so they were not at full health. And that forced them to have to like be incredibly careful, which they weren't careful enough. They died. One of them died.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, the karma damage.
Yeah, that good old karma Q. Chibode missing his Vault Breaker, but overall still doing a good amount of damage on the Wilson. Wilson able to trade just with auto attacks though, which is pretty interesting to say, nonetheless.
I mean, Wilson's not been taking very much harass at all. He only just used his first pot.
Yeah, he's been singing the lane, being able to farm, but SW's still up, just a tad bit in CS, but like 1 or 2 here and there. So as long as he continues that, yeah. Rom the bomb, yeah, he's being super aggressive. He saw SW backing in the mid lane, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna walk into the enemy jungle, and I'm gonna become aggressive against Vi, which you can't do as Sion. You hit your E and you're able to hit your knock up. That's a lot of damage coming out.
I think this is kind of like, I believe he's doing this simply because he encountered last game that Chibode doesn't do well when being invaded.
Yeah, I mean,
like that puts Chibode in an uncomfortable position. So we'll see how this turns out. I'm eagerly awaiting them to hit level 6. That's when we see the real ganks coming from Sion and Vi.
Yeah, definitely. And Vi ultimate, Sion ultimate. Every time I see a Sion, no matter what team it's on, where the Sion is at, the ultimate sound is probably one of the best effects that Riot's able to add to a champion. Because you hear that giant gong sound and just screaming of Sion, you don't know. I mean, like I said, he could be on your team and you'll still get scared. I know I do.
Oh yeah, I mean, like the first couple of games I played with him after they changed him, I was terrified of his ult sound because I didn't know if it was going to be after me.
Oh, Congo getting put on by, wow, that was a great game coming out from Shadowwalkers. They set that up very well just to take advantage of this blue buff. They saw that Rom was invading. They wanted to counter that. The TP coming out from Maokai, and Wilson kind of sat to the side here. Chibode only level 5, able to heal himself back up with the power W Wilson is, and Mycroft's hitting the auto, and the ultimate coming out from Jet as well, since he did TP just a little tad late. Totile going on Dev. Oh, the exhaust coming out and the binding hitting as well. Yeah. They want this blue buff. Totile, he's in a very risky spot here and able to get out. Rom hitting the wall, free 300 gold. Jet doing a lot of damage there, and just one auto away from killing Congo. SW just clawing away from not getting caught by Rom or Meeble here.
That was a little bit over-aggressive by a Totodile. Like, he just got exhausted. They didn't have vision of that side of the jungle. They knew that Sion was close by. So, I'm not sure what he expected to happen.
Yeah. Definitely an interesting thought on Toto's mind of going into the jungle like that. But
Wilson
hitting the knockup as well. Death coming in as well. Needs to be very careful here. The flash. He can't flash from Ignite, but he still flashed.
barely survived.
Yeah. Almost died there. Biggest mistake I ever had when I just first turned level 30, when I started playing League, was I would try to flash away from the Ignite damage, thinking that's how it worked.
Alas. I believe the most common one is people that used to take Smite thinking you could Smite champions.
Yeah. I mean, technically you can now.
I mean, you can't now, but like the
I
joke
mean-
was back in the day, like, oh man, Smite does like 600
1,000
damage. Why
damage,
doesn't
yeah.
everybody take that?
Yeah, right? It's always interesting. Oh man, I always thought that was hilarious, to be honest. I don't think I ever thought that. I was a little smarter to actually read the what it said on the actual ability, but I always hear stories about that, and I had a friend that thought that, and it's always fun and interesting to hear how people think that that's actually how the spell works. The binding's on point by Dev, if I might add. Coming from the spot lane. Every time he throws a bind, it's always hit Totodile or Mycroft in some way. Even if they don't go aggressive on it, he's hitting them with those bindings a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, like, now that Congo's on Sivir, like, bindings are fantastic when you're playing Sivir, because it means
Yeah.
that you can just get free double damage from your boomerang blade.
Yeah, they just locked up, and you throw the boomerang, and you try to hit, farther away and not hit any minions in the way, but ends up being a lot of damage in the end. Either way,
Karma-
going back to the
Karma's
farm,
doing well.
yeah. I mean, I was expecting the Karma to do well, just because, one it's Wilson and one it's Karma. I don't think I've ever seen Karma really been completely out of the meta where she's unplayable. She's always been playable, just not really, by much, Always fun
Well, I
to
think
watch
the problem
Karma.
that she runs into is that she needs items a little bit more than some of the other supports. Because she has
Yeah.
decent base damages and stuff, but like, she has to be able to get close to use her W. And she needs stats to get her shield stronger. So,
Yeah, so she really doesn't fit the support role as much as originally people thought she would. I do like her more in the mid lane. Kind of not too excited about the nerfs that are happening to her on PvE. I don't really play Karma much, but when I do, I enjoy playing her more in the mid lane. I find her a little bit more fun as a mage, kind of like Morgana is now. She's fun and all, but Wilson going as well. Chibode there to stop the Rommel. They flashed it, but Chibode is kind of dead. Rom is came in right at the right time for the counter gank. They were able to lock up Wilson, but with Rom being the tank he is, can't really do much more than that.
that was kind of just unfortunate for SW. Like, the moment he goes in, it just so happens that Sion is in a position where he can perfectly ult directly onto him.
Yeah, and it was good of Chibode to flash forward to block the ultimate from actually hitting SW, but at the same time, didn't really work out as planned for them.
He still died.
Yeah, I mean, he still died. He might have saved SW like that, but Meeple going a little aggressive here on Jet. Rom walking up as well. Jet walking the opposite way. Trying to be a little nuisance, but, that's a dead Rumble. Maybe not. No. The twisted advance coming out from Meeple, able to stop him in his tracks, and Rom is on a killing spree. That's a lot of damage coming out from SW. Both Ignites going down. Just the tip of the Q misses, and oh wow, the flash W from Wilson. I don't even think he Q'd there. The camera panned to the bot side, but
It was
a lot of
the
damage.
It was the Q kill. Flash.
Oh, was
flash
it Q?
Q.
I thought it was a W Link that killed him. Either way, good. Oh, 1v1 coming out from Karma versus SW in the mid lane.
Well, at least this game isn't like as bad as the last one. There's not
Yeah.
a whole lot of towers being destroyed or attacked yet. There's no dragon attempts yet, so a little bit more relaxed, I think.
What I'm surprised to see is no dragons, because Thunderdogs is one of the few teams I would expect to take more dragons in the early game, and they really haven't taken advantage of a lot of these kills they're getting. I mean, Rom is definitely the one getting the kills too, so it's interesting to see them get these kills and not really take objectives or really anything. The gold difference is only 1,000, and really nothing more than that. I mean, most of this is just gold onto Rom, and really that's the only person that has a big gold advantage, you know, by 1,000 compared to like mid lane where it's only about 100 gold, barely even 100 gold, and bot lane is only about 300 gold or 400 gold. So it's really not too much of a gold advantage from
Getting by Chakotay.
yeah, all coming out as well. Minecraft being a little aggressive here. Totodile getting knocked up by Rom. Dev getting aggressed on, but Evil coming in as well. That is a 4-man game on the bot side. They saw that coming. SW was wanting to go down, clawed backwards, and was like, no, I'm going away from that. Jet walking down as well. Maybe seeing if they can maybe stop this dragon with a good rumble ult, or maybe try to stop it in some way. Dev is pretty low on the back line.
Once more, Rom is in the right place at the right time. Just
And see,
the moment
that's-
they go in, he's perfectly in place to ult directly into them.
Yeah, and that's one of the things about Rom is he's always there. He's always in some position to take advantage of, like, all right, you're ganking my mid lane. I'm doing my Raptors. I'm stopping immediately, going right to the mid lane. Help them. He'll stop farming his jungle camps and go help his lane. It's just a huge thing for junglers, because I mean, I'm guilty of this. If I'm jungling and oh wow, the rumble coming out, just that was a little unfortunate there, but I'm pretty guilty of this. Is when I'm jungling and I see a gank going on, I'll just I'll finish my camp, then I'll come. Whereas Rom will just completely stop and go help his team.
Yeah, and I think that that's really what separates like skill levels as junglers, is being able to not only choose when to go in when you're already in the middle of farming or whatever, but also like how well he's reading the map.
Yeah.
Because like it's not just once; he has been in the right place at the right time multiple times.
Which is very good for him. And it's not even like a difference of like the entire map. He's literally right around the corner compared to being like top side when he needs to be bot side. Like it's very impressive to see jungler doing that. But 4-man mid lane right here, looking to try to get this mid tower. They got the bot side tower and the dragon. Finally getting those objectives we were talking about when they're in this, having these kills already. The damage coming out from Kama is a lot. Same with Congo. He already has his IE. And that's a lot of damage for him. But 4v4 in the mid lane, top lane is just kind of chilling on the top side. The wave clear coming out from Thunderducks is a good amount. You got your Sivir and Karma, so those waves kind of just fall over.
Yeah, I mean, like, between the Sivir, we have, like, the Sivir farm, we have the Karma with her Qs, we've got Rom with E. They can wipe out a wave really fast if they're all there. So, which, they can possibly get down towers really fast, but I'm not sure. There's a lot of engage potential against them.
Yeah.
Between, Vi ult, Lissandra, Nautilus, Rumble.
Yeah, and I think SW just really needs to, or Shadowwalkers really need to just take advantage of a good fight for them. It's been a lot of just being caught out in the wrong spot, and locking up someone like Wilson here is definitely what they want to do, and that's what they're going to do. Vega Toda coming from the side, killing him, Dev falling over as well, and that's exactly what we were talking about. They get one lockup and they're dead. Rom getting caught up as well, having the flash over the wall, not right there to try to stop them. Congo in a bad spot, but Exhaust coming out, Rom coming in as well. Tode going to the backline, but he just falls over. Totodile kind of in the wrong spot. Rom dying as well, and Congo's getting a free kill with Totodile being in a really awkward spot for him to show up. I didn't expect him to be in the right there. Jet getting chased by Congo, but SW and Mycroft kind of just waiting there. Oh wow, the Beeble flashing up the wall, trying to lock down him. Jet trying to get away. They're fast. Pretty unexpected, especially chasing a Rumble. He has a shield, movement speed.
May as well push for the tower.
Yeah, you're right. Waves already there. Let's get this free tower. It's kind of what's going through the head of Thunderducks here.
I know we've said it before with Totodile. What are you doing? Why are you so far out of position every time?
Yeah.
Stop going ham.
It's classic vein spotting right there.
Play in
Oh,
the
no.
vein. I gotta go in.
Yeah, right.
He's got the
Another
Lee
thing I saw a
syndrome.
thread on League of Legends, right? The sport of vein spotting, where you see a vein and you have to, when you get a point for every time you see a vein do a vein thing, where like they'll try going 1v3, think they're double lift and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh
That's-
boy.
I'm calling a point. That's my point right there, by the way.
Man, fine. I'll call the one from earlier.
All right. See, we're 1-1 right now.
1-1.
1-1. All right. Gotta watch out.
Look-
It's usually when they try to 1v3. That's like the best. That's the free point right there. Or when they end up on the other side of the map and you don't know why. Blue Buff
okay.
going over for Wilson. Once again, I think Shadowwalkers are going to contest it this time. They tried last time and it didn't work out too well for them.
Jeez. So Meeble has not actually gone back yet. After the last like 2 fights, he's sitting on 2,300 gold right now.
That's a lot for a top laner.
Yeah,
Usually
he's
that's
just
something
been
you would see
sitting
from-
on it.
Yeah, that's something you'd expect from like an ADC. They're going to continue farming. They're going to continue farming. He just back. Let's see what he buys. All right, finishes the Merc Treads. Let's see what he buys after that.
Actually takes him a while. He has to decide what he wants to buy now.
All right, Spectre's Cow. And
It looks like he's going for the
Ruby
B-Veil.
Crystal. Yeah. And upgrades Trinket and a Pig Ward. Goodbye.
Okay, so he's working on the B-Veil.
Yeah.
Which is, that's totally fine. They've got the Lissandra. I don't think that the Lissandra is going to ult him, but on the off chance that they try and like push him away, they have to use a little more.
Yeah. I mean, usually you would go the classic build on Maokai, where you go the Glacial Shroud Catalyst build, which is one of my favorite things to do on Maokai, because there's just so many build options out of it. But when you're against a team that's 90% AP, and then you have a Vayne that does percentage health damage, you kind of don't really need to build any armor.
Although
You know,
he could be building, instead of a Banshee Veil, he could actually be building a Spirit Visage, and that seems more likely. I think that he just wanted to upgrade his trinket instead of getting the Kindle Gem.
Yeah, which is understandable for a top laner. 'Cause,
Goodbye, SW.
And SW having ult himself, hopefully that they can turn this fight around, but they cannot. Jet having to walk away. Rom ulting in and catching Jet. That is a dead Rumble, and Chivoti flashing out the Scion knockup. And also a good catch from Thunderducks. Very unexpected.
I think that they just extended a little bit too far. They didn't have vision of the side there. So, I'm not exactly sure why SW was pushed up so far anyway. Holy crap, that damage.
That's a lot of damage coming out from Karma. And
Just the tip.
Oh man, he stole my line. I was about to say that. I mean, it's literally, they have like 3 champions that can do that. You have the Morgana, the Karma, the Sivir.
I mean, it could be the Scion for all it matters.
Yeah, really, right?
Just the tip with the
Just
minion.
the tip of the E or the Q, right? Basically every champion, except for me. Oh no, you got the Q from Maokai. They should change the name of their team to just the tip. They keep on playing these pokey type champions, but
My word.
yeah, right. Either way, time for Thunderducks to back and try and get some items. Wilson Jones flashing away from SW just because of the threat of the Lissandra.
I mean,
Tomb.
Lissandra was whining back to cast the ult.
Yeah, she was. I mean, you get locked up like that. And Vi was right there too, so she might have been able to. I mean, that might have been a dead Karma if they played that correctly.
I have to see.
and locked
Morgana
up.
was right there, so I don't think they would have killed him, but they definitely would have made it so that they could get something out of it.
Yeah, you're also going to add that that would force Karma to back sooner with less gold, and not less gold, but like maybe a blown summon, or I mean, they did blow a flash already. Either way, all right. Well, Karma has no flash now, so take advantage of maybe that. Granted, she does have a lot of mobility with her E, and then the lockdown of her W to stop the enemy from chasing.
Oh man, Rom just went back with 2,500 gold.
Oh, you did? Let's see.
Yep,
Same build.
The same thing. Oh, he turned into a giant spell.
Oh no, man! I was really hoping that was the same thing. And then 2 wards, picking up those extra wards for his team.
Goodbye, Wilson.
Wilson Jones in a bad spot. Frozen Tube coming out as well. People actually decide as well. They need to be very careful because that's a lot of damage coming out from Wilson Jones. Wilson falling over to Chibode. Mycroft trying to run, but that is a dead Nautilus. Go back to the sea where you belong, as you do not belong on the rift.
Now he's under the sea.
It's a good one. I was trying to think of something there. And, man.
A worthy trade. Wilson for 3.
Yeah, right? That was definitely... my opinion, if you get to kill Wilson, it's like killing Faker, right? You know, you get a 4-man gank on him, and you might have died. You might have blown all your summoners, but you killed him. So
We did kill Wilson.
yeah, right? It's like, you know, next season it's going to turn into who can kill Wilson Jones.
Just build comps around picking Wilson Jones.
Yeah, right? You gotta come in with the Janna with the last auto to secure the kill.
Gotta have like a Caitlyn AD carry, maybe like an assassin jungler and mid laner, and then just like a hard engaged top laner.
Yeah, just force going around just catching that one person over and over again. And if they get away, you have the Caitlyn security of the ultimate to kill them. Yeah, that's a good comp. Good idea. Either way, Congo is definitely someone to mention this game. He is 6-1 and 7. That is a pretty good stat line coming out for Congo. And definitely something to note because in last game he had a surprising amount of deaths because they focused him pretty hard to try to kill him off a lot when he was playing Lucian. So Tower going over to Shadow Walkers, Dragon coming up not anytime soon, I believe. Amiibo popping no, trying to go on Mycroft. That is a non. The ultimate coming out from Jetstone. Congo getting caught out as well. Flashes away after the fire ult. Dev, Hourglass. That is a dead 5. They need to be very careful. SW kind of in a tricky spot. Wilson does full HP still. Jet just kind of chilling out there, falling over to the auto attacks. Young Sivir, Todao. Here's the 1v3. I called my point right here. You see? Right, there you go.
Oh man, I was about to call point, like because he turned around and keep fighting.
See, I
Dang
totally
it.
got it.
I don't even know. I'm not sure what their thought process in that fight was. They, okay. I guess they wanted to pin Congo down with Chibode's ult, but like that put him so far away from everyone else that he just died because he's not a tank.
Yeah. And that is most likely going to be an inhibitor going over to Thunderducks. First inhibitor of the game. All outer towers going over to this one.
I mean, okay, so credit to Chibode, he did actually build a little bit tankier this game, but his second item is a Black Cleaver, and Black Cleaver is really strong, but it's not a tank item.
Yeah, definitely not a tank item.
It's a bruiser item, and it has it has a bunch of health. It's got a bunch of CDR. It helps out your AD carries, but Vayne doesn't necessarily need that much armor pen this early.
Yeah, she definitely needs more of the attack speed peel over armor pen.
I almost think that he would have benefited from building, instead of building that, going for like a Randuin's to be able to stick better, or even a Banshee's Veil so that they can't just CC him down immediately.
Yeah, and you kind of need to be snowballing on by to really think that you can do something there, if that makes any sense. Like, you kind of really need to have the kills to back up the damage offensive item. SW Chibode kind of in a bad spot here. They need to be very careful here. That is a Karma Q popping the Lissandra. And,
Can't underestimate that damage, especially when you haven't built an EMR.
That's a lot of damage coming out from Karma. So either way.
I mean, he's got 350 AP right now. It hits really hard.
I mean, he only has a Loon's Echo and Themes, as well as another needlessly large rod. Probably going the Death Cap second item. It's only still on 600 gold, so distance away from building that item with the CDR boots. Just continue spamming that Q over and over and over again, as well as getting the free shield, which is always beneficial.
The dangerous steal.
Yeah, they're trying to go for the steal
Keep
here.
resetting it.
You be very careful here. That's a. Uh-oh. He got it. I didn't actually get to see. Oh, I think Wilson did.
Wilson got
Alright.
it.
Alright.
Uh-oh.
Baron coming up. They might. The Scion all coming down the middle of the way. Jet being as well. I said we need to be very careful here. Tombs someone and locks himself up. Chibote going onto the back line. Dev going on Dev here on the side. Rom bind as well, so he needs to be careful here. But
Point for me.
That is a lockup for him. And Congo getting up with the auto attack, and Scion killing him for the last kill, or last it. Evil TPing in to get these Nexus towers.
I'd like to point out that's a Vayne point for me in the 1v3.
Ah, dang, man. 2-2.
So we're tied?
Alright. So we tied. At the end of the game, we tied. So I need them to hold off the win for another 18 seconds so I can win a point. Oh, man. That is game 2 going over to Thunderducks. Going into the semifinals, facing. I think they're facing Breaking Bard in the semifinals. I don't want to say so because I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Breaking